We're ready to actually start construction, and one of the first steps I want to do is I want to join up the top, the back, and the head plate. So this is a book matched piece, but the edges are rough, so I do need to plane them so that I can glue them together. So I'm just going to take a number 7 joiner plane. I've clamped the two pieces together in the book match configuration, and I'll run the plane over, and when I have a straight edge I should be able to join them up. Nice and straight now. Now I do have a decision to make. I have the back strip, and there are two trains of thought. One is to glue the back strip when you glue up the sides, or the back rather. The other option is to wait until you've got them glued up, route in a channel, and inlay the back strip. I don't know. I'm gonna do some thinking on this. I want to see how it all looks, because one of the issues I have with these is the two sides of the back were not planed evenly to thickness. So let me do a little fitting and I'll make a decision. This is my test clamping setup. I have decided not to glue in the back strip when I glue up the sides. I think that it's just these sides are just too far off, and I think it'll take away some of the strength. And also, hand planing like that, they may not be perfectly 90 degrees. The sides will come together because I book matched them. Any angle I have will be offset by opening them up, but the back strip is 90 degrees and it may not glue as well, so I will inlay the back strip later. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm going to be holding down both pieces flat, so I've got a piece of PVC that the glue will not stick to, and I'm going to weigh down the glue joint with this granite block. So first thing we'll need to do will be to put some acetone on the ends. Rosewood can contain oils that can keep the glue from sticking. So I'm going to put some acetone, put the glue, and then join it up. Alright, let this guy dry up. Now we'll move on to the top. For the top, I'm using something a little different. This is Port Orford cedar. I got this piece from Oregon Wildwood. They have some really beautiful stuff, and some stuff that's a little out of the ordinary there. When they have it there, figured redwood is absolutely beautiful. But they definitely a place, give them, not sponsored, but definitely giving good credit, and their customer service is unmatched. This is pretty straight, but I am going to give it a quick run with the joiner plane just to make sure. So what I'm generally looking for when I run the plane over is that I'm pulling away even curls from both pieces all the way across. And that actually looks pretty good right there. Let's check it with a straight edge. Okay, gave it another try, and now we've got a nice joint. Glue this up. in a similar way, except I don't need the acetone. We're ready to glue this up. Again, I have 2 cauls that I have put some tape on. Tighten down the clamps, make sure these guys are nice and flush. Definitely make sure I don't over tighten these clamps because this will pop up. See, just like that. Another piece of granite. There we go. Nice and flush now. Give the clamps a little more snugness. I'm going to throw another clamp in the middle. That dry up. Next thing we need to glue up is the head plate. I've never gotten a head plate before that was in 2 parts. I think it's getting hard to find wider bores, but this is a beautiful Macassar ebony head plate from LMI. Just gonna see, because I think this looks like it's perfectly plain, but we'll get it ready and see what it looks like. Alright, our test clamping went very well. It's all beautiful lined up joint, and so now we'll just, again, like the rosewood, we're going to put some acetone on the edges and glue it up, and then we'll proceed on with the next step. Is going to be to cut and create a neck blank so that we can start working on the neck. We have a neck blank. It's all glued up, squared up. I've planed it down at 7/8 of an inch thick. And what we're going to do is we are going to use the fingerboard as a guide. I need to cut it. I need to cut off a couple of pieces to make a heel for the neck. And I also need to leave enough wood to make a scarf joint for the headstock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off pieces about 1.5 inches. I'm going to try 1.5 inches from the ends. That should be more than enough. Well, no, it's not. 2 inches, 2 pieces, 2 inches long. Set the fingerboard in place, and that leaves me plenty of room to make the scarf joint. So we'll cut these off, and then we'll set up for the scarf joint. We're going to put these 2 pieces aside that we stacked we're going to stack for the scarf joint. I'm going to take, this is where the fingerboard crosses the body. I need to leave at least 1 inch because we need space for the dovetail. And this is just my way of doing this. There could be better ways, but this is all. We're crossing the body at the 14th fret. Got my fingerboard lined up. I've got where my nut's going to be. And that's the point at which I can start my scarf joint. We have the line marked, which is actually where the nut is going to be. It gives me a little landing space for the nut. I'm lined up, the 14th fret. I've got enough to make my dovetail. So I want to do a 7-degree angle for the head, for the headstock. So I've set my gauge to 7 degrees. I'm going to line it up on my mark, and I'm going to draw my cut line. Now it doesn't quite go all the way. Then I'm going to go to the bandsaw, and I'm going to cut on that line. So we've cut it off, and we take the cut off, we flip it over, and we're going to plane these guys down, and we're going to glue this onto the back, and it gives us a nice piece for our headstock. We've gotten these planed up so they'll glue together nice and square, keeping the stripes lined up. We're ready for glue. Line it up, and we'll clamp it together. probably throw a couple more clamps in the middle, and then when the glue dries, we'll be able to plane the headstock flat, cut the truss rod channel, and then glue on the blocks.